Done.
Good morning, everyone. So I want to all welcome all the members of the Bids and Awarding Committee, Technical Working Group, our observers, ma'am from Kuwait, and to all who are present today. So today is May 28, 2026. Scheduled for opening of bids for the civil works projects for this office, DPWH Cagayan de Oro First District Engineering Office. So to formally start these proceedings, I would like to call Mr. Arijan Tabigon for its opening prayer.
Heavenly Father, we gather together to thank you for your endless goodness. We pray that you will provide us with your wisdom and insight as we undertake our matters today. We open our hearts to you now and invite your Holy Spirit to be present among us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, that your kingdom be on the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Thank you, Arijan Tabigon. So at this point, I call our member of our back secretariat to roll call for our this.
Good morning again. Attendance for today's opening of bids. Back chairperson, Engineer Jennifer Imbanaag. Back vice chairperson, Engineer Anthony H. Casona. Regular member, Engineer Grace D. Julian. Professional members, Engineer Ione Grace P. Dampios and Engineer Shan E. D. Felicidario. Back head secretariat, Engineer Aida Marinila Vidaroy. Members, Mr. Efren Paderes and yours truly. Head back PWG, Mr. Marvin Julius J. Ligal. Members, Engineer Camille Andy Escobedo, Engineer Milo D. Gale L. Bastida, Engineer Nino B. Biti, and Mr. L. John L. Cabigon. From COA, Ma'am Ginelyn E. Arboneda. That's all the morning. That's also.
Thank you, Mangwe. So the back as well, the back members as well as the PWG are majority present today. So there's a quorum in school. So let us also acknowledge our online viewers for the information of everyone that we are live via on our YouTube channel and these proceedings are recorded. So today we are scheduled for opening of 3 civil work projects. So first is 26KH0054. Rehabilitation of road at Barangay Dansolihon, Station 0+000 to Station 1+800, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with approved budget for the contract of 32,370,640 pesos and 33 centavos. Second is 26KH0055. Construction of multi-purpose building in Barangay Tuburan, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with the coordinates of 124.50239 degrees and 8.3768638 degrees, with the approved budget for the contract of 4,949,902 pesos and 67 centavos. And last is 26KH0056, construction of multi-purpose building in Balulang National High School, School ID 315403, Barangay Balulang, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with approved budget of the contract of 9,799,715 pesos and 68 centavos. So now we proceed with the opening of the first project, the contract ID number 26K0054, rehabilitation of road at Barangay Dansolihon, Station 0+00 to Station 1+800, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. So for this project, we have three interested bidders, namely first, NLSDC Construction Services, second, Victoria Development and Research Corporation, and third is L&L Construction. So now let's open the first envelope, the technical component of the bid.
Really? Oh,
I have here only the technical component of the bid for the three project, for the three interested bidders, namely NLSGC Construction Services, Victoria Development and Pictures Corporation, and L&L Construction Services. L&L Construction lang. So I would like to ask our DPWH to assist back to the utilize of the technical component of the bid of the bidders.
Stop share, stop share, stop share,
Ito ang request our back secretariat to conduct eligibility, electronic eligibility screening for this project.
na lang po. Tingnan lang kung stop share. Ay. Stop na ko. Ha? Breakfast ka lang. Ayun.
Minister. We have here the result for our eligibility processing from the civil works application.
Going to explain the so.
Sa puan siguro? Sa So for this contract, we have three prospective bidders. We have our first bidder is Victoria Development and Benefits Corporation. For the legal aspects, for their mayor's permit, it is valid until December 31, 2025. Their set is valid until July 7, 2069. For their VIR tax clearance certificate, it is valid until February 14, 2026. While their fuel tax registration certificate is valid until March 3, 2026. For their technical and financial aspects, we have here their pickup license. It is valid until April 12, 2026. So with the remarks, license in the DPWH registry is not valid. Their pickup registration is valid until August 2, 2027. For their work experience, passed, the result is passed. For their NFCC pass. So since this project has an ABC of more than 30 million, so as per department order, we require the respective bidders to have an ISO certification. So for this, we have also as shown here, there was none. So for our second bidder, we have MLSJC Construction Services. For the mayor's permit, it is valid until December 31, 2026. The DTI is valid until October 9, 2028. For the VIR tax clearance certificate, it is valid until June 18, 2026. For the future registration certificate, it is valid until December 5, 2026. For their technical and financial aspects of MLSJC, their pickup license is valid until December 7, 2026. For their pickup registration is valid until December 7, 2027. So for the work experience, the result is passed. And for their NFCC, the result is also passed. For the ISO report, we have here, they have a certification which is issued by Sean Bates, TGCS International Group. The certificate is ISO certificate is valid until June 14, 2029. So for our third prospective bidder, we have L&M Construction. For their mayor's permit, it is valid until December 31, 2026. Their BTI is valid until June 14, 2027. For their BIR tax clearance certificate is valid until March 17, 2027. As for their field checks registration certificate, it is valid until April 2, 2027. For the profile of their technical and financial aspect, their pickup license is valid until June 29, 2026, while their pickup registration is valid until July 15, 2028. For their work experience, the result is passed. For their NFCC, the result is also passed. So that will be all for our three prospective bidders for the setback. Thank you, and take the ISO. For the L&L construction, the ISO report we have here, it is issued by United Register of Systems. There's, is valid until January 27, 2029. So that will be all. Good one.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Garrett. So for Victoria Development and Cultures Corporation, so based on SWA, so we don't have the ISO certifications, but we will check the manually of your submitted and
And also the pickup license in the
Oh.
DPWH
pickup license
is not valid.
is not valid. So we will check in the submitted documents of the attached. So we will wait for the DWP
Share na.
for the manual booking.
Stop share. Pass out kung gusto ka. Pass out ilan.
Tiname ko ang event and then category ng editorial and
For chicken, ganun. For sinabagay chicken. Ang laki. Sa Procurement. Sana, ang laki, depende na ano. Sa electronic man la.
sa panglang remark ng intervention for CWD.
Electronic result man pa sa unibas.
What place will you? No, I saw.
Sa Victoria, pick up.
Pick up the pick up license in the advisory. Is not matching. Okay na to. Okay na to. Mag-send mo sila. Ano ito last is mabilisan?
No, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Slash pass.
Wala kang electronic.
So far, I think at least in sa pwedeng kaya mamaya pass. Consider being Paano siya? Ano nasa bigyan tayo? Pero update na din. Update na din. And all information has to be validated in the specific validation. Nandito sa context, nasa kagawin pa na. Pwede ko pa. Nasa sets.
Break.
1.515 na kuan. Dibayang ano?
Absent sa lang na. Meron farmers. Walang natabingan ba?
Buena.
One page. Bilo ng Victoria daw.
DEO 110 series of 2024.
Device there. I have here the results of the preliminary examination of the technical component of the lead for the contract ID 26QH0024 rehabilitation of road at Barangay Dansolihon, Station 00 to Station 1800, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. For the first contractor, MLSJC Construction Services. Its valid UJEP's registration certificate submitted. Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted. statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC submitted. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board license submitted. Bid security submitted in the form of BSD. Organizational chart submitted. List of contractors' key personnel submitted. List of contractors' major equipment submitted. ISO certification submitted. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement submitted. Net financial contracting capacity or NFCC submitted. So for its overall rating, the MLSJC Construction Services passed the preliminary examination. For the second contractor, LNL Construction, its valid field jets registration certificate submitted. Its statement of prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC submitted. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license submitted. Bid security submitted in the form of BSD. Organizational chart submitted. List of contractors' key personnel submitted. List of contractors' major equipment submitted. ISO certification submitted. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement submitted. Prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity submitted. And its overall rating passed. For the last bidder, Victoria Development and Ventures Corporation, its valid field jets registration certificate submitted. Its statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC submitted. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license submitted. Bid security submitted in the form of BSD. Organizational chart submitted. List of contractors' key personnel submitted. List of contractors' major equipment submitted. ISO certification not submitted. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement submitted. Prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC submitted. So for its overall rating, the Victoria Development and Ventures Corporation failed the preliminary examination of its technical component. That's all, guys.
Thank you, Engineer Shan. So, after the eligibility screening, CWA and manual checking, we found that these two contractors eligible to participate in the bidding, namely MLSGC Construction Services and L&L Construction. As for Victoria Development and Ventures Corporation, we found that in the CWA, their Belgian registration certificate are not valid and they did not submit their ISO certificate. And to our manual checking, so we attached their Belgian certificate valid. However, there's no ISO certificate attached. As per DEO 110 series of 2024, the implementation of 2015 ISO certification, so for projects with more than 30 million of approved budget for the contract are required. So Victoria Development and Ventures Corporations are not eligible to participate in the bid. So let us proceed in the opening of the second envelope, the financial component of the two qualified, two bidders. The L&L Construction and MLSTC Construction Services. We have here the financial components of the bid for the contract ID 26H0054 for L&L Construction and MLSGC Construction Services. So I would like to request the capability to the preliminary examination of the bid, the financial proposal.
I have here the result of the preliminary examination of the financial component of the suite of the contract ID 26KH 0054, rehabilitation of road at Barangay Dansolihon, Station 00 to Station 1800, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. For LNL construction, its original of newly signed and accomplished financial bid for repeated. Its original of newly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted. Detailed estimates including a summary sheet submitted. And cash flow by quarters submitted. So for its overall rating, the LNL construction passed. And for its total amount of bid is 32,369,180 pesos and 32 centavos. Less fif- less 15,000 pesos. Its new bid amount is 32,354,180 pesos and 32 centavos. Again, its amount of bid is 32,369,180 pesos and 32 centavos, less discount of 15,000 pesos, and its new bid is 32,354,180 pesos and 32 centavos. And for MLS Basic Construction Services, its original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form submitted. Its original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted. Its detailed estimates including a summary sheet submitted. And cash flow by quarter submitted. So for its overall rating, the MLS Basic Construction passed. And its total amount of bid is 32,359,986 pesos and 46 centavos. Again, 32,359,986 pesos and 46 centavos. That's all, guys.
Thank you, Engineer Chan. So for project 26KH 0054, rehabilitation of road at Barangay Dansolihon, Station 0+0002, Station 1+800, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with a approved budget for the contract of 32,370,640 pesos and 33 centavos. Our lowest bidder is L&L Construction with discount with a bid discounted resulting to 32,354,180 pesos and 22 centavos. So again, this is still a low bid and will be subjected for post-bid evaluation and post-qualification. So we now proceed to the second project. 26KH0055, construction of multi-foot post building in Barangay Tuburan, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with a coordinates of 124.50239 degrees and 8.3763 degrees. With approved budget for the contract of 4,949,902 pesos and 67 centavos. So for this project, we have 4 interested bidders, namely Light Construction and Supply, Tagalawan Enterprises Incorporated, Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, and M&L Construction and Enterprises. So now it's now open their first envelope. So pick the round component of the bid. So I have here the technical component of the bid to the 4 interested bidders, the Light Construction and Supply, Tagalawan Enterprises Incorporated, Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, and M&L Construction and Enterprises. So I would like to request our DPWH to assist us with the preliminary examination of the total component of the bid. I would like to request also our back secretariat with eligibility screening of this project.
Okay na.
Good morning once again. Mr. Chair, we have here the results for our, CWA, results.
Go ahead, Engineer Ida. Regards.
So for this contract, 26K0055, we have four prospective bidders. So for our first bidder, we have Light Construction Supply and Supply. For their mayor's permit, it is valid until December 31, 2026. Their DTI is valid until March 2, 2031. For their VIR tax clearance certificate, it is valid until October 22, 2026. While their field trips registration certificate is valid until June 19, 2027. For the profile of the technical and financial aspects, we have here their pickup license is valid until August 8, 2026. Their pickup registration is valid until June 14, 2028. So for the result of their work experience is passed, for their NFCC also passed. So for our second prospective bidder, we have MNL Construction and Enterprises. For the mayor's permit, it is valid until December 31, 2026. For the DTI, it is valid until September 19, 2030. For the VIR tax clearance certificate, it is valid until December 26, 2026. For the fuel tax registration certificate, it is valid until February 15, 2027. For their pickup license, it is valid until December 2, 2026. For their pickup registration, it is valid until August 12, 2026. For their work experience, the result is passed, and their NFCC also passed. For our third prospective bidder, we have Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise. For their mayor's permit, is valid until December 31, 2026. For their GTI, it is valid until March 22, 2029. For their VIR tax clearance certificate, it is valid until February 4, 2027. For the fuel tax registration certificate, It is valid until April 26, 2027. For their pickup license, it is valid until June 6, 2026. And their pickup registration is valid until June 6, 2028. For their work experience, the result is passed. For their NFCC, the result is also passed. So for our fourth leader, we have Pagalawan Enterprises Incorporated. For their mayor's permit, it is valid until December 31, 2026. For their DTI, it is valid until March 6, 2061. For their DIR tax clearance certificate, it is valid until June 19, 2026. And its field tax registration certificate, it is valid until August 10, 2026. For the mayor, our pickup license is valid until October 8, 2026. For their pickup registration, it is valid until October 11, 2027. For their work experience, the result is passed. For their NFTC, the result also passed. That would be all, Mr. Vice Chair. Good morning.
Thank you, Engineer Aina. So now we will wait the result of the manual checking of the DPWH.
Wala ba sa? Ako ay. Stop na siya. Stop na for sure. Meron to.
So, yeah, yeah. Kaya sa inyo, diretso na yung
Vice Chair. These are the results for the preliminary examination of technical component of the bid for the manual evaluation for the project 26KH0055, construction of multipurpose building in Barangay Tuburan, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. For the first contract for, which is the light construction and supply, the valid field registration certificate is submitted. The statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, submitted. The statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract is also submitted. The pickup license submitted. The bid security in the prescribed form, which is in the form of PSC, was submitted. For the organizational chart for the contract, submitted. The list of contractors, key personnel, submitted. The list of major equipment units, submitted. And the original duly signed omnibus statement, submitted. And the net financial contracting capacity is also submitted. So for the rating of light construction and supply, is passed. For the next contractor, which is Cagayan Enterprises Incorporation, the valid field registration certificate is submitted. The statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted. The single largest completed contract submitted. The pickup license, the special pickup license in joint venture submitted. The bid security also submitted in the form of PSP. Organizational chart also submitted. The list of contractors, key personnel submitted. The list of contractors, major equipment units submitted. The original signed omnibus sworn statement submitted. And the net financial contracting capacity is also submitted. Therefore, the rating is passed. For MLSJ, for Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, the valid field registration certificate submitted. The statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted. The SLCC submitted. The pickup license submitted. The bid security in the form of PSP is also submitted. Organizational chart submitted. The list of contractors, key personnel submitted. The list of contractors, major equipment units submitted. The omnibus sworn statement submitted. And then the net financial contracting capacity submitted. For M&L Construction and Enterprise, enterprises, the valid fuel gas registration certificate submitted, the statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted, the single largest completed contract submitted, the pickup license submitted, the bid security in the form of PSP is also submitted, organizational chart submitted, the list of contractors' key personnel submitted, the list of contractors' major equipment units submitted, the original re-signed omnibus zone statement submitted, and then the net financial contracting capacity is also submitted. So for M and L Construction and Enterprise, the rating is passed. These are all the results, Vice Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Engineer Grace. So after the eligibility screening, CWA and manual checking, we found that these four contractors are eligible to participate in the bidding, namely one, light construction or supply, second, Kagalawan Enterprises Incorporated, and third, Abiser Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, and last, M&L Construction and Enterprises. So now let's proceed for the second envelope. For opening the second envelope, the financial component of the bid. So I have here the financial component of the bid for the contract ID 26KH0055. Construction of multi-purpose building in Barangay Tuburan, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. With the coordinates of 154.50239 degrees and 8.37638 degrees. For the four leaders, light construction and supply, Kagalawan Enterprises Incorporated, Abiser Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, and M&L Construction and Enterprises. So I would like to request plus for DPWH as it's asked in the for the financial component of the bid.
One.
utilized here. Here is the result for preliminary examination of financial components of the bid for the project in scale. Review 55, the construction of the purpose building in Barangay Tuburan, Cagayan de Oro, Misamis, Oriental. 124.50 total 9 degrees on 8.3768 degrees. For the first contractor, which is the light construction and supply, the original of the design and accomplished financial bid form is submitted. Original of the design bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted. The detailed estimates, including a summary sheet indicating the input prices of construction materials, labor rates, equipment rentals, used in coming up with a bid is submitted, and the cash flow by quarter is submitted. To the rating for light construction supply is passed. The amount of bid as read is 4,948,510.64. For Gagalawan Enterprises Incorporation, the original design and accomplished financial bid form is submitted. Original of design bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted. The detailed estimates, including summary sheets and all the original prices of materials, labor rates, equipment rentals is also submitted. The cash flow by quarter is submitted, so for the rate of Gagalawan Enterprises is passed. The amount of bid as read is 4,946,258.19 centavos, less and discount of 5,000 pesos. So the total amount of bid will be 4,941,258.19 centavos. For Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, the original of the design and accomplished financial bid form is submitted. The original of the design bid prices in the bill of quantities is submitted. The detailed estimates, including summary sheets indicating the unit prices of materials, labor rates, and equipment is also submitted. The cash flow by quarter is submitted, so the waiting for Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise is passed. The amount of bid as read is 4,943,391.43 centavos with a discount of 2,000 pesos. For the amount of bid as read will be 4,941,391.43 centavos. For M&L Construction and Enterprises, the original design and accomplished financial bid form is submitted. The original design bid price from the bill of quantities submitted. The detailed estimates, including summary sheet indicating the prices of materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals is submitted. The cash flow by quarter is also submitted. The rating for M&L Construction and Enterprises is passed. The amount of bid as read is 4,942,709.13 centavos. That's all, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Woods. So for project 26AH0055, construction of multi-purpose building in Barangay Tuburan, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, the coordinates of 124.50239 degrees and 8.3768 degrees. With approved budget for the contract of ABC of 4,949,902 pesos and 67 centavos. Our lowest bidder is Pagalawan Enterprises Incorporated with a bid amount of 4,941,258 pesos and 19 centavos. So now let's proceed with our last project. 56KH0056, construction of multi-purpose building in Balulang National High School, school ID 315403 Barangay Balulang, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with the approved budget for the contract of 9,799,752.68 And for this project, we have four interstate bidders. First, Light Construction and Supply. Second, Kagalawan Enterprises Incorporated. Third, Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise. And last, Hero One Strength Construction. The Maliks open their first envelope for technical component of the bid. I'm not going to be here because the pinag na technical component of the bid to the contract ID 26 page 0056 for our four interstate bidders, namely Light Construction and Supply, Pagalawan Enterprises Incorporated, Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, and Hero One Strength Construction. So I would like to call our bid about DPWH for the preliminary examination of the technical component of the list. I would like also to request our back secretariat to conduct electronic eligibility screening this Friday.
Share. Five one three four nine. One six eight three. And we about solar. 5516. Allowance. Four. Then so like Vice Chair, we have here the results of our eligibility processing from our civil works application.
Okay, today I got, can you read the result, please?
So for this contract, 26KH0056, we have four prospective bidders. For our first bidder, we have Light Construction and Supply. Their mayor's permit is valid until December 31, 2026. Their DTI is valid until March 2, 2031. For their DIFS clearance certificate is valid until October 22, 2026. For their fuel tax registration certificate is valid until June 19, 2027. For the pickup license is valid until August 8, 2026. The pickup registration is valid until June 14, 2028. For their work experience, the result is passed. For their NFCC, the result is also passed. For our second prospective bidder, we have Avancer Construction Supplies and General Merchandise. For their mayor's permit is valid until December 31, 2026. For their DPI is valid until March 22, 2029. For their DIR tax clearance certificate is valid until February 4, 2027. And while their fuel tax registration certificate is valid until March 26, 2027. For their pickup license, it is valid until June 6, 2026. For their pickup registration, it is valid until June 6, 2028. For their work experience, the result is passed, and their NFCC, the result is also passed. For our third prospective bidder, we have Hera One Strength Construction. For their mayor's permit is valid until December 31, 2026. For their DTI is valid until March 7, 2030. For their DIR tax clearance certificate is valid until February 26, 2027. While their fuel tax registration certificate is valid until July 11, 2026. For their pickup license, it is valid until July 18, 2026, and their pickup registration is valid until July 18, 2027. For their work experience, the result is passed. For their NFCC, the result is also passed. For our fourth prospective bidder, we have Cagayan Enterprises Incorporated. For their mayor's permit, it is valid until December 31, 2026. Their SEC registration is valid until March 6, 2068. For their DIR tax clearance certificate is valid until June 19, 2026, while their fuel tax registration is valid until August 10, 2026. For their pickup license, it is valid until October 8, 2026. For their pickup registration, is valid until October 11, 2027. For their work experience, the result is passed. For their NFCC, the result is also passed. That would be all for this project, Mr. Vice Chair. Thank you, and good night.
Thank you, Engineer Aida. So now it's wait the result of number one cheating.
Kasi pagbasa yung batang pinay, wala sa nawin na.
Vice Chair. We have here the results of the preliminary examination, the technical component of the lead. Contract ID 26KH 0056, construction of multi-purpose building, Balulang National High School, school ID B15403, Barangay Balulang, Cagayan de Oro City. For the first contractor, Pagdalawan Enterprises, its valid PhilJEP's registration certificate submitted. Its statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC submitted. Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license submitted. Bid security in the submitted in the form of BSP. Organizational chart submitted. List of contractors key personnel submitted. List of contractors major equipment submitted. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement submitted. Prospective bidders computation of net financial contracting capacity submitted. For overall rating, the Pagdalawan Enterprises passed the preliminary examination. For the second bidder, Light Construction and Supply, its valid PhilJEP's registration certificate submitted. Its statement of prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted. Its statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC submitted. Its Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license submitted. Its bid security submitted in the form of BSD. Organizational chart for the contract to be bid submitted. List of contractors key personnel submitted. List of contractors major equipments submitted. original duly signed omnibus sworn statement submitted, and the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC submitted. So for overall rating, the light construction supply passed the preliminary examination of its technical component. For the third bidder, Advisor Construction Supplies and General Merchandise, its valid PUJEP's registration certificate submitted, its statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted, its statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC submitted, its Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license submitted, its bid security, the prescribed form submitted in the form of BSD, organizational chart submitted, list of contractors' key personnel submitted, list of contractors' major equipment submitted, and the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC submitted. For the overall rating, the Advisor Construction Supply and General Merchandise passed the preliminary examination, the technical bid. And for the last contractor or last bidder, the Hera One Strength Construction, its valid PUJEP's registration certificate submitted, its statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts submitted, its statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC submitted, its Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license submitted, its bid security submitted in the form of BSD, its organizational chart for the contract we bid submitted, list of contractors' key personnel submitted, list of contractors' major equipment submitted, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement submitted, and the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC submitted. And for the overall rating of the Hera One Strength Construction, it passed the preliminary examination of its technical component. That's all, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Shan. So after the eligibility screening, CWA and manual checking of the technical component of the bid of the four interested bidders, we found that these four requested bidders are eligible to participate. So namely, one, Light Construction and Supply. Second, Kagalawan Enterprises Incorporated. Third, Advisor Construction Supply and General Merchandise. And last is Hero One Strength Construction. So now let's proceed with the opening of the second envelope, the financial component of the bid for the contract ID 26H0056. So here the financial component of the four eligible bidders, Light Construction and Supply, Pangalawan Enterprises Incorporated, Advisor Construction Supply and General Merchandise, and Hera One Strength Construction. So I would like to ask our PWG assist us in the preliminary examination of the financial control of the bill.
It means right there. I have here the result of the preliminary examination of the financial component of the bid for the contract 26KH 0056, construction of multi-purpose building in Balulang National School ID 315403, Barangay Balulang, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental. For the first bidder, Cagayan Enterprises Incorporation, its original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form submitted, its original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted, detailed estimates including a summary sheet submitted, and cash flow by quarter submitted. For its overall rating, the Cagayan Enterprises passed the preliminary examination, and its total amount of bid is 9,794,141 pesos and 46 centavos. Again, 9,794,141 pesos and 46 centavos. For the second bidder, Herawan Strength Construction, its original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form submitted, its original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted, detailed estimates including a summary sheet submitted, and cash flow by quarter submitted. The overall rating, the Herawan Strength Construction passed the preliminary examination, and its total amount of bid is 9,798,170 pesos and 76 centavos. Less amount for the discount of 10,000 pesos with a new amount of bid of 9,788,170 pesos and 76 centavos. Again, its total amount of bid is 9,798,170 pesos and 76 centavos, less discount of 10,000 pesos with a new amount of bid of 9,788,170 170 pesos and 76 centavos. And for the final bidder, abay,
Tulong. Third.
for the third bidder, Sir Construction and General Merchandise. Its original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid for submitted. Its original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted. Detailed estimates including a summary sheet submitted. And cash flow by quarter submitted. So for the overall rating of the Sir Construction and General Merchandise, it passed the preliminary examination with a total amount of bid of 9,789,554 pesos and 77 centavos. Again, 9,789,554 pesos and 77 centavos. And for the last bidder, the fourth bidder, Light Construction and Supply, for its original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid for submitted. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities submitted. Detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials submitted. And cash flow by quarter submitted. For the overall rating of the Light Construction and Supply, it passed the preliminary examination and its total amount of bid is 9,794,654 pesos and 5 centavos. Again, 9,794,654 pesos and 5 centavos. That's all, Vice Principal.
Thank you, Engineer Shan. So for the project 26KH 0056, construction of multi-purpose building in Balulang National High School, School ID 315403, Barangay Balulang, Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis, Oriental, with approved budget for the contract of 9,799,715 pesos and 68 centavos. Our lowest bidder is Hirawan Street Construction with a discounted bid of 9,788,170 pesos and 76 centavos. So again, 9,788,170 pesos and 76 centavos. So before we officially conclude this opening of bids for the civil work projects, I would like to thank all the participating leaders, members of the bids and awards committee, DPWH, observers, and everyone present here. So for your cooperation, thank you so much. So with that, this opening of bids for the civil work projects is hereby officially adjourned. Thank you and have a good day.
Si Ay, nasa ganitong pakuan na ni Ay. And nawala lagi.